All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having yourselves a fantastic start to the AM. Apologize for the slightly delayed start here this morning. But yeah, let's get after it here today. So, decent amount of like pre-market volatility or pre-market price action here this morning. Let's see if we can basically get a either continuation narrative, right, or sort of the general theme that we've seen here so far this week has been, uh, I guess, reverse, right? It's probably the right term. But we've been kind of like doing the opposite, right, of whatever the pre-market action is, just with the implied volatility, right, of markets. Now it's a little bit raised here today versus what it was yesterday, but still an implied range of about 1%, right? And then so far here this morning, we're 60% of that move here already kind of being accomplished. So potentially, right, the path of least resistance is kind of to make that move, right, and then go back to where it all started eventually, right? So it's a I don't know, call it probably like a sneaky way of having choppy price action. The idea here is that we're going to hopefully see some sort of consistent resolution from that here, and maybe get a little bit of a breakout or a breakdown, and really just going to be waiting, right, for that to happen. No real reason to force anything to be hyper aggressive or to get like tunnel vision on any setups here today. It's been a really strong trading week in what has been a really strong trading month. So let's make sure that we're not doing anything, right, that ruins our mood or destroys the weekend or like just destroys our ability, right, to compound decisions effectively. A lot of people call Fridays capital preservation Fridays. And for me, that's kind of like a twofold meaning, right? The one, if it's been a good week, let's make sure that it ends a good week, right? If it's a bad week, let's make sure it doesn't become a worse week. And then it also means that I don't want to do anything that just like keeps me up at night, right? Or that I sit on all weekend and think about or get stressed about or yeah, that I dedicate any energy towards, right? So I don't want to finish off the week with like a bad taste in my mouth, right? For lack of a better term. And really just focusing on making high quality, strong trading decisions here today, not really optimizing for P&L or trying to force a number. I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to stick to my process. I'm trying to follow my rules, and everything else is just background noise, right? And a distraction. So that's kind of what the mindset is here going into today's trading session. Kind of what I really want to put my energy and focus towards. And I think if we do accomplish that, then we're going to put ourselves in a pretty good situation here this morning. From an economic calendar perspective, chill, right? Not too much going on here today. Oh, a little bit busier here now. But again, all just like 8:30 data, right? So we're not going to have any like roadblocks here, really, or anything that I need to be worried about. So yeah, let's start mapping it out. Good morning, everybody, and let's get after it. So, all right. So what's the count here on EOS? Let's start there. Yeah, 1 for 3 there, spot on, right? And probably like say oversized gap down, right? So oversized, and this is going to sound maybe stupid, but oversized gap down tells us kind of two things, right? So it probably tells us that the mean reversion scenario is our probably most likely path of least resistance. But it also tells us that if we're able to get a very aggressive breakdown there to the downside, so i.e., we get I don't know, 20 points of follow through here this morning, right? Or a really big opening range and a lot of enthusiasm, then that also, right, tells us that maybe the trend to the downside is stronger than I expect. So when you get breakouts that happen outside of extreme conditions, that can often be a really strong indication of like a really strong um like continuation type move, right? So a good way to visualize that, for example, is Bollinger Bands. So when you have Bollinger Bands and Bollinger Bands are very compressed, right? Well, that's telling you that you're supposed to get a breakout. But when you get those breakouts and the Bollinger Bands are very, very expanded, then that can create that like insane type move where you can get almost like a squeeze type price action. So that's effectively what that oversized gap down here is telling me, right? I'm either looking for that like mean reversion breakout move kind of back up towards the original highs, or I'm looking for that mean reversion to fail and to turn into like a squeeze trade as like the continuation narrative effectively pays out or plays out, I guess. The key element to either one of those scenarios here today is going to be establishing more momentum or more volume than anything that we saw there yesterday. Yesterday was the smallest volume of the week. So ideally, right, we need to see a more impressive standard than that. It shouldn't be difficult for that to happen. On yesterday's volume, right, we actually had like pretty decent volume, especially on NQ was pretty decent volume on the opens. But then the like 15 min and the 30 min standards were significantly less and significantly less impressive than anything we saw at the open. So maybe that becomes the filter or the judge that we're looking for here today. But kind of where my mind is at there with ES. So I know a lot was just thrown out there, but it's certainly very interesting pre-market conditions. So levels wise, right, I still only want to trade after bullish or bearish failures. That continues to be the narrative here. And we're going to be targeting 6,300 as our starting point. And then we've got it up towards like 6,340, right, if we're bullish, which is effectively just all-time highs, right? And we have a lot of, I'll say, like points of confluence that are probably suggesting that all-time highs is probably the path of least resistance, right? Bitcoin is really in squeeze mode here today, and there seems to be a pretty strong correlation between the two asset classes. To the downside here, right, we're looking 6270 probably, so call it 6270 and beyond. Our prep from earlier in the week has kind of saved us a little bit of mapping out here today. And yeah, a lot of space there if we can get it. Okay. NQ. Similar, not so similar. How do we feel? I so Nautilus, I don't see anyone uh that has permissions to talk. I should be the only one. Um yeah, strange. It should just be me here today. All right, we'll see if we can fix it. I've added just everyone perms here, so if you do see someone that you don't want to speak, everyone should have the ability to mute people individually here now. So hopefully that does solve that going forward. But apologies for that. But yeah, we're gonna call this. It's not a 2 out of 3, right? It's a inside bar, and it's an inside bar with a big gap down, just like we have here on ES, right? What would we say is maybe a little bit different about the pre-market conditions, right? So it's a gap down, but it's just an inside bar. If it's an inside bar, it's not a 2 out of 3, or it's not a 3 for 3, or it's not a whatever. It's just an inside bar. So what's different about the pre-market price action in ES versus an NQ? What does NQ look a bit more like? Right? Kind of looks like maybe the pre-market has already had a little bit of that fake out, right? Whereas ES kind of looks like it's, right in store there for the potential breakout. So this may be, right, NQ may be setting up a little bit more favorably for the mean reversion, or at least early on, because we've already seen a potential bearish failure. Whereas ES, right, maybe looks a little bit stronger here pre-market, and that gives us some other, right, things to focus on. To the upside here, we'd be looking, we're going to say inside bar with a big gap down. So look how much bottom wick we have on NQ versus how much bottom wick we have on ES, right? It's a larger move has happened here to the downside, and then a larger move has been recovered. So if our thesis is mean reversion, NQ is doing more of the mean reversion than ES. We're looking for 23,000 as our starting point to the upside, right? And then to the downside, pre-market lows of 22.8 and beyond. I don't think I need to change much of those. So let's see. All right, crude. I mean, not a great volume bar there yesterday, but still increasing volume. So this is a 2 out of 3. The downside with vol. I'm just going to say non-outlier, because it's still pretty weak volume. So I think we could probably still get back up towards that like 69 range. To the downside here, we're looking at like a 66.50. Don't necessarily have to worry about the prop firm limits here today. And then 5% down. You can go to like 63. All right, that's plenty of space. Okay, Apple. One for 3. It took me a second there. Tesla, 2 out of 3 with volume. Microsoft, $500. Insane. Didn't quite set up as an inside bar, but it is a 2 out of 3 without vol. We'll call this a week. Amazon, 2 out of 3 without volume. Big gap up. Kind of the opposite of our mean reversion thesis. Not quite an inside bar there on NVIDIA. Again, a weak one. I keep forgetting to write that in. AMD, 2 out of 3 with volume. Meta, lower low, lower high. But again, the 2 out of 3 to the downside. It's a weak one. Netflix, 2 out of 3 to the downside with volume. Kind of looks like it's a trend. And then Google inside bar actually got one of those correct yesterday. Nice. Yeah, I know. Blows my mind how well Microsoft does. All right, so there's market open. How's everyone's top steps looking today? Any issues? Good, good. Good, good. Yeah, kind of a slow, muted open. Again, decent volume at the open, but that didn't really mean much yesterday. How's everyone feeling this Friday? How's everyone felt this week? It's been oh, it's been a pretty interesting week, I think. Quiet from everyone. All right. Good, good. All right, so possibly getting a little bit of a baby fake out there on ES. Not perfect. I mean, it did hold under the opening range. Theme of the week here as well has also been like just letting the market, kind of like faff about for the first 30, 45 minutes of the day, shake out kind of the weak participants, and then we're able to catch kind of the easy move. That's 100% my bias, right? Especially after kind of the pace of this open. This has felt pretty slow so far. That's interesting, JS. But you see the same price? All right. I don't know. Maybe that's some weird glitch, but yeah. Not quite sure how to fix that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe refresh your browser or try a different one. But that's a strange. Yeah, strange thing for them to be wrong about. Oh. The 900 for the first time, 22.9. Doesn't feel like a super enthusiastic breakdown on ES at least yet. How it feeling enthusiastic's kind of a self-imposed feeling. That's better for sure. Much better now. I don't know if we're gonna get the increasing volume here. It'll be close. Okay. Oh, we did get increasing volume by the skin of its teeth. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I don't trust this confirmation candle here yet. It it is increasing volume, right? But it's by like literally one contract traded, or well, one lot. So it's hard for me to be like super confident in that increase in momentum. That's a much better reaction. So again, confirmation is a binary, but I just want to slow down, right? If there's something there that's giving me pause, I should investigate it, right? And try to solve it. Or something that's giving me anxiety, I should try to solve for that answer before. It doesn't look super enthusiastic yet. Have to be what, 898 stop loss. I'll probably just call it 900 stop. Okay. Now we're looking for reference price of 884. Right. So 16 points, one contract. Hey guys, I'm in 885 on the dot. Stop loss at 900. Hmm. I mean, not a perfect entry, but we did survive, I think, a worst case scenario there potentially. Things change fast. All right, let's see if this thing can break down here now. Okay, so far so good here. We want to see how this thing reacts to new lows. Kind of a mixed reaction here so far. Again, not the enthusiasm maybe I would have expected. Let's see. Keep pushing. A little bit better. Pulls back. All right. Hey guys, I've closed this trade. I have closed this trade. Exit price here was 883, out at 883. What I don't like, right, is it made the lower low, retested my entry price. That for me is a get out. I'm being told that the move isn't super enthusiastic, so I would rather wait it out. Obviously here it's naturally going to break down. So I think maybe a bit of a bad decision there. We'll see. But I didn't feel very confident in the way that that price action pulled back to my entry price. So I would rather, would rather just get out of that trade for a small win. But I felt nervous on the pullback. So I don't want to. I didn't want to get faked out. It was just the fake out lower low and then pull back to my entry price that made me very, very uncomfortable. Like that's not how a strong trade moves. And if I already had some like my initial analysis of that confirmation is that it maybe wasn't as enthusiastic as I would have liked. So maybe I just let those thoughts creep into my head a little bit too much, right? Imposed my feeling on the market instead of trading the market, but I'm okay with that decision, I think. And again, maybe I could have closed for like $200 or something like that instead of 35, but that's okay. Just as like a word of advice, I guess, guys, right? Is when we're looking to get out of our trades, right? Especially if you're going to be using a market order, make sure that if you're selling, right, you're clicking sell on the downtick. So as price is going in your direction, and it's the same thing, right? If you're getting out of a trade to the upside, make sure you're closing it on the uptick. That gives you a chance to get a little bit better executions instead of getting or giving it away. So sometimes you actually get like slippage in your favor. So that would be the base recommendation. Always what my objective is. I'm not really necessarily picking trying to pick a specific price. I'm trying to close on the uptick or on the downtick. And yeah, guys, I mean, good decision. All things considered, maybe okay. We got out a little bit early, but it would have stopped us out there. So you know what? I feel pretty justified. That was a good read. My gut wasn't lying to me this time. That's a good feeling. All that kombucha is making me have a healthy gut. Fantastic. All right, so now maybe we're also possibly getting like that reversal set up. But yeah, very good decision, team. I'm actually very happy with that. I'm gonna wait for this on the 5. I'm not gonna go. Oh, that's a fantastic. That's a great shout, Praxis. Great shout. All right, so pretty violent reversal here now. Let's see how this 5-min looks. Excuse me. Oh man, so today Thinkorswim is having technical issues. See if we can find something else here. I mean, this is setting up here on the 5-min. That's pretty impossible volume to ignore, right? Good close, right? Closes above that previous red candle. So we'd be targeting that 2R upper range. Stop loss would be 226. Reference price here would be 240, 240-ish. Sorry, 940-ish. Whoops. Now we're looking for a long, right? With the stop loss here, 926. Okay, and now we want to see a gentle retest. I can go 2 contracts here potentially. A little bit of a pullback here. Okay, guys, I'm in 936.50, 936.50. 2 contracts. Stop loss 926. Okay. Oh, again, I don't like this bouncy nature of it. What's going on? Okay, push. This has got to be it here. Push. Oh man, this is like kind of frothy. I don't like it. Okay, push. There we go. Push. The way this price action is moving is very uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck? Again, this is such deja vu to that very that trade we were just in. Come on, get back over. Very uncomfortable trade here again. Come on. Okay, push, push, push. Get through 50 here. I'm on. I'm on. Go. Oh, it's not quite the perfect reaction here, guys. So I'm thinking about closing here in a second. Very, very frothy. That is what I'm going to look to do here, guys. Next decent pop, I'm going to look to get out. Okay, there it is. All right, I am out. Close price, 858.25. 858.25. All out, 858.25. Sorry, 958.25. Good little win. All right. Nice day here all of a sudden. Yeah, that one felt did not feel It felt very frothy again, right? Felt very, very frothy. Very nervous on the uh this pullback here. That pullback to 928. I was getting some intrusive thoughts. No, 940, Patrick, is not a bad entry, right? 940 is not a bad entry. Any entry under 957 is a good one. Anywhere under 940 reference price, great entry, right? So anywhere under green line to red line, good entry. Anywhere under green line, or sorry, blue line, that's the entry I'm looking for. So I would say you're fine, right? You did it perfectly. Oh, still kind of got like a bit of yeah, like arm pump going through that one. Felt a bit stressful. Nice, good, good. Hey, nice work, Sean. And guys, like, I mean, we talked about getting out. It gave us that pop that we were looking for, and then closed. I mean, again, maybe didn't maximize P&L there, but again, felt stressful. No, I mean, I'll take 2 green trades to start the day for sure. But this is yeah, it's not been a very easy market to trade here, I don't think, so far this morning. At least for myself personally. Maybe I brought some baggage in or whatever it is. But I do feel a little bit more uh pressing or something. Or like I want it more today, maybe. Look, I generally don't like getting stopped out on pullbacks, right, Ghost? So I generally don't like that, right? Because it feels really bad to get to see all your green evaporate or all your P&L go away. Um, but if you made more money, right? You made more money. Okay, so again, we're possibly looking here for I guess our third leg of this trade. So stop here would be 956, reference price 968.25. And what I'm really looking for here, right, is the just a nice reaction for when I enter a trade, right? Both of the reactions here we've had today, they've left you wanting better, right? Or left you wanting like a little bit more clarity. So that's what I'm aiming for here, right? If I get another entry on this, is the reaction here has got to be perfect. Otherwise, I want to get out, right? So if my entry timing here isn't pretty much A plus, I'm gonna have zero patience for it, right? So it's got to be perfect here. Stop loss now have to be 952. You have 14 points of risk here approximately. Okay. All right, so now we're looking for a gentle pullback here. Hey guys, I'm in 961 on the dot, 961 on the dot. Stop loss 952 might come for me here in a second. I'll write it out in just a moment. Just give me a sec to manage this. I have 2 contracts, 961 entry. All right. Again, not the perfect reaction here. I feel like I'm probably gonna get stopped out. Maybe not. All right, well, I did take the stop there. That was for minus 300-ish. Puts me at 508.60 here. It looks like it's a fake out and go. This might give me another stab at it here potentially. But yeah, I probably should have cut that one just a little bit earlier, right? I wasn't green right away and held on. Kind of talked about not doing that actually, but kind of maybe got a bit of hopium on that. All right, let's see. Again, higher high, higher low. Might be just buy the stop loss trade. For that. And now it for sure is. So it's a 944 stop loss. So still just watching here, just being patient for a second. Kind of moving slower higher than it's moving lower, if that makes sense. I mean, clearly not. All right, looking for an entry here in a second, team. Oh, I might have missed it now. Let's go, Nautilus. Great entry. Ooh, kind of the dreaded creeping pullback. That's pretty much the perfect reaction, though. Yeah, it's kind of been the theme of the day, right? It's all been kind of like really quick pops and then tremendously long pullbacks. Like once it makes that failed breakout above 970, right? That needs to be your chance to, like, once you're in that position, you need to be protecting, right? Once you have that failed breakout, right? Because this move to 970 is your sign, right, that the breakout has happened. If then that move pulls back, right, that's a failure. If it's strong, it should keep going. So definitely should not have gotten stopped out of that trade. You should have definitely been green. Again, the entry would have to be something like this, right? Stop at 941 and just catch that early move. See. Yeah, fantastic. Maybe too many contracts if that's how much profit you got, right? Sounds like too many contracts. Get 6 points, it's $120 a contract. So you went like 4 contracts. That's probably too many, way too many. Your risk on that trade would have been like $1,500. That's too much. Right? You want your max loss to be $500, right? Your max loss per trade to be no more than $500. You were 3 times that amount. So making $575 worth of profit with $1,500 worth of risk is not a good trade. It's a good outcome, but it's not a good trade. Because we're still looking for a potential breakout. $500 of risk per trade is for what I trade with my 150K account, right? So you want your max daily loss to be no more than 1% of your account. So I don't take one trade per day. I take, approximately 3 on average, maybe a bit more. I want my max loss to be about $500 a trade. All this stuff is in all the risk management documents, guys, right? Like we need to understand those like the back of our hand. A failure to acknowledge risk and to take it seriously is just a long way of blowing up your account, right? So please, right? Understand those requirements. Be selfish with yourself over what your max loss number needs to be and build everything around that. Bad risk management, like a strategy can't bail that out, right? So you need to make sure that those numbers are consistent and rock solid. There's no profitable trading with a loose risk management mindset. Might be able to play this on the 3. And on the 15, we could play this. I'll stick to the shorter time frames. I think it's going to give me a more likely entry. Yeah, trading is a game where it's the best loser who wins, right? Not the best trader, not the best technical analysis, not the best prop firm gamifier, best loser that wins. So if you're not making it easy for yourself to lose, you're not making it easy for yourself to win. I firmly believe that. Okay, we're looking for the potentially breakout thesis here. Stop loss would be 972. And it's just about allowing your account to be able to compound, guys, right? That's the game we're playing. We're not playing the big singular win game. That doesn't scale. We're playing the let me compound my games account. So I still would prefer the pull or the aggressive entry technique, right? Would still prefer it. Stop loss now would be 968-ish. Okay, so watching closely here. Okay, now watching for a pullback. Come on. Close. Come on. Come on. Hey guys, I am in 977.75, 977.75. Stop loss 968, two contracts. Okay, see if it can pop here. Much better reaction though this time, early doors. Let's see if it sustains or if I just jinxed it. Oh, I can't type. I don't like that pullback. That's not great. Okay, better. I feel like I'm fighting for scraps a little bit here today. Hmm. Not a great close. Oh, come on, push. I don't like it. I don't like it. Come on, give me a pop here. Give me a pop. Everything here feels so nervous still today. I don't like it. Come on, push. Push, push, push. Get over 90 now. Come on, get over 90. All right. You got this, NQ. There it goes. There's 91. Keep pushing, baby. Okay, I'll watch here, guys. Watch. This is going to be my chance here in a second. Come on. I think it's going to go towards 23,000, but I don't know. It's starting to stall a little bit more than I'd like. Come on. So close. Okay, watching here, team, watching here. So now if we get to the 23,000, this might be our chance to get like that big pop that we had on that previous trade, right, where we got out on. Kind of looking for the same reaction here, right? Oh, but in good shape, really good shape. Will not let this go red, right? No chance. Fuck that. Come on, give me that breakout here. I mean, it's a 3-for-3 candle, so I don't have theoretically any reasons to be nervous here, but I don't feel still super confident. Come on, find support, you bastard. Come on, push. Um, I'm guessing by saying what is the white line level, you're asking what's the profit target, or the indicator level here is 23,056.50. You should know that before we ever enter the trade, not after. Okay, so we're looking here, right, for that 23,000 breakout, guys. I saw it on the chart, but not on my screen. That makes sense. Okay, let's see if it's got it here. Come on. There it is. Let's see a bit more. Come on. Here, now give me the explosion. Wasn't right on cue. It's funny thing about this trade is there was a brief moment in time there. I was thinking about doing a pyramid. I did not do it, but on that pullback to like 87, the finger was getting a little bit twitchy. It was ready to go. Super enthusiastic reaction to 23,000, right? Especially because ES also made a move above 300. I'm a little bit surprised by that reaction, I think. That was a big jump. Now let's see if they can push. We should have done 10, 15 points above would have been my estimate on like a really enthusiastic breakout. Fact that we didn't get that, we just kind of stalled here at this price makes me a little bit more motivated to potentially take profit here. Yeah, just this reaction to 23,000 just feels inconsequential, I think is probably the best term so far. Nice work, Nick. Probably again, probably too many contracts for that trade. Too much risk. I mean, Brady, I remember we've been talking about looking for an exit for the last 5 minutes, right? So I'm not quite sure how else to answer your question, man. This candle is now telling us that we do need to get out of this position. But guys, I mean, I think I've been pretty transparent about how I'm looking for an exit here for the last 5 minutes. This should not be a surprise here at this point. And if I'm looking for an exit, I'm always looking to close as my P&L is increasing, right? So again, I'm not sure if I understand the surprise there, Brady. Okay, so trying to get an exit here, right? Looking for around that 23,000. I don't know if it's going to get back to that level, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it wants to fake out and then go. But guys, the reason why I spend 5 minutes talking about what my plan is before I execute something is so that no one is surprised when I make a trading decision, right? That's the idea here. So I think I've been pretty vocal over what I've been wanting to do here today. So we shouldn't be, yeah, we shouldn't be acting surprised or be unclear over what the plan is. I think it's very clear. Come on, you bastards. 6 points is not much to ask. It feels like it might be. I mean, ES is still holding above 300, which is kind of buying me a little bit of time, I think. So let's see. Come on. Push, we're so close. So again, guys, right? I'm looking to close on a move above 23,000, right? That is my only thought going through my head right now. Right? Or for an exit, right? The obviously if something changes and price action like tanks, yeah, for sure. Gonna look to get out before that, but I still am confident able to get that 23,000 exit or better. So that's what I'm looking for, right? So let's see. Need the sell to cross that number, not the buy. Hey, come on, a bit more. Come on. I have a feeling this next candle is going to give us a quick little wick here. Come on, push. Push, you're so close. Hey, now we want to see the big pop here. Come on, give us the big pop. There it is. Watch, watch, watch. It's going to be our chance, team. This is going to be our chance. There it goes. Watch it here. Come on. Come on. All right. I am out. Exit price 2304.75. All out 2304.75. Beautiful trading, guys. Let's go. No, Matt. So when I say I'm not going to let my trade go red, it's basically just that if it gets towards my reference price, that's just a mental stop loss. So like my reference price becomes a mental stop. That's, I mean, $600. Still a good day. Nice work, guys. Oh, we had to fight for that plan, right? But it worked out well. I don't want to say quite top ticked it, but within a few points. And it's a really strong trading day, right? Really, really strong trading day. How's everyone feeling? 3 for 4 here today, I think, right? Like 1,500, 1,600 bucks. Let's go, Doug. Hell of a day. That's okay. Okay, John, it's about 1/3 then of my P&L, a little bit less than 1/3 of what my P&L is here on the day. I'm sitting just under 1,600, 1,589.77. I'm not going to place any further trades. It shouldn't have. The score should still be fine, Joshua. Hey, I mean, 1,500 bucks on the day, no complaints. Good days, team. Good days. Nice, Jared. That's a good that's nice of them to do that. Hey, Green Day's a Green Day, Jared. 500 bucks a day is a lot, man. 500 bucks is a lot. Like, don't let the market tell you that it isn't. $500 is a lot of money. To make that in a day, in 65 minutes or 70 minutes of stress, like, a good trade. Yeah, I mean, that's why I like the 150s, John, because I'm a big believer that having more drawdown makes it easier to pass, or at the very least, easier to keep and hold on to your account. The 50Ks are good. You know, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio pass fail, but like those are the slipperiest accounts. Like they're the reason they're the cheapest at these companies because that's the ones that make the most money off of. Nice work, Patrick. Hey, 745 bucks is a great day. And you know what, guys? Say, nice, Doug. Good to hear that, man. Good to hear that. And honestly, that's kind of what it is, right? Like a little bit of time in the stream, a little bit of time watching me trade, a little bit of time asking questions. And all of a sudden, right, things just start to fall into place and the order starts to make sense, right? Oh, Rusty, that's painful. Sounds like you got all that payout money influencing you out here a little bit. Not as hungry as you were before the big payout. Like the Albert Hainsworth, right? Best defensive player in the NFL gets paid, puts on 300 pounds. The legend. Honestly, Rusty, I'm surprised you didn't take a vacation today. Let's go, team. Work, work, work. This one now? No, no. So this is your confirmation, right? You only want to do a pullback technique. So let's just go back to this candle. So you only want to do a pullback as long as you haven't made a new higher high above your confirmation. So you want to be fully confined here inside the previous bars. As for to the downside here, no, you have no active confirmation here that would justify an entry. This potentially could have been your reversal signal, but I don't know if that would have been enough, right? Maybe not quite outlier volume. So there's no active setups, at least on NQ on the 5 min. I've won green here this week, guys. Should be five green trading days here this week, I think. Pretty good. Have one green this week. Oh, beautiful, Rusty. Okay. Oh. Hey, Doug, I mean, dude, 2,300 bucks on 5 accounts. That is absolutely unbelievable, man. Let's go, Eric. Congratulations. That's fantastic, man. Nice, Richard. Good. Good. This was not an easy week, guys. This was not an easy week at all. Definitely on that last trade. And this is why I'm not placing anything else. Kind of like my screen is closed now. But I kind of felt like my mental capital was uh knocking on the door of being overextended. That's probably telling me, okay, I've squeezed everything I can out of this setup. Time to get out. That's probably what that signal is telling me. And for whatever reason, today did feel a little bit nervy. Maybe it was because kind of did a victory lap yesterday, like with the milestone. Like uh, this is a bad analogy, but I it's like, you know how disappointing it would be if like you're all jazzed up to turn 50 and then you have like your big 50th birthday party and then you die like the next morning. I was subconsciously like super excited about trying to get to 25 days green in a row. that I think I was probably a little bit nervous that today was going to be a red day. I think maybe that also had a pretty big contributing factor to why I felt nervous on some of those trades and why my mental capital felt um maybe stretched. It should be 26 now, I think, Joshua. I think it should be 26 now after today. Yeah. Yeah, $1,000 is a great day. What was your exit price? What was your entry? Yeah, it did. I mean, it gave us like two attempts at 23,000, right? Or three attempts at 23,000. And then just didn't really want to separate since. Now it hasn't really like retested the previous entry price, but I wouldn't be confident in my thesis if I was still in it at this point. Okay, yeah. So it kind of sounds did you close it on this candle or the 1030? So was it the 1025 or the 1031? 1043. Okay, so here, okay. Yeah, I know you should have gone out way before then, right? So 1025, 1030, 1035 were the three candles we were looking for the exit. So this candle here, right at 1025, is what told us we had to get out, right? So when we're in a trade, we're looking for three things to continue to hold, right? We want to see breakout above our previous high candle, right? We want to see that breakout happen with a strong candle shape, and then we want to see that happen with increasing volume. So this was effectively our entry candle. And I mean, I'm just being really lazy how I'm mapping this out. This was our entry candle, right? Entry was approximately there. So then this candle, right, post entry, that's a 3 for 3 candle, right? Holds above previous high, increasing volume, strong candle shape. The next candle, right, it's a red candle, doesn't hold the highs, and it's on increasing bearish volume. So that's my signal to get out, right? That's my 3 for 3 candle to get out. So then I'm looking for my exit on this candle and on this candle, right? I can't be holding really much longer than that because it's this one that's telling me to get out. Had it been a high vol breakout through 23,000 candle, it looks like this. Cool. No reason to then close or to want to get out of this trade. But we didn't close this position because it didn't feel right. We closed it because our technical analysis told us that the move was over. So once our TA tells us that we need to be getting out of a position, we can't ignore those lessons, right? The other than reality, right, is we know that price action is going to uh like trade within that zone, right? So you're looking for an exit around your high of your exit candle, right, or of your rejection or reversal candle, which is why the exit target then became 23,000. But this is the reason we got out, not anything else. So ignoring that reason is just a very expensive and yeah, pointless, I would say, right? Literally, uh, you're not getting any extra points, right? Making that decision. I would say that that's like you went from having a controlled exit to a panic close exit. And generally, that's it's not super scalable, right? Because you go from having wins that are larger than your average loss to then having wins that are smaller than your average loss. So that's why we want to avoid that panic close sensation. But yeah, that would definitely be the thing to study, right, a little bit. Yeah, and sorry to pick on you just for a second there, but I think it's a very important thing for us to understand. Well, for me, right, my bias is to always close as my P&L is increasing, right? So it's kind of like it's a little bit of a balancing act. I'm effectively, for lack of a better term, gambling that it's going to give me an exit price higher than the close of the exit signal candle, right? I'm effectively betting that I'm going to be able to see a price still higher than 992. So it's really about then in that situation being able to maximize my P&L in that trade, right? Does that make sense? So divided by three, right? But really, well, I mean, the base rule here, Robert, is max daily drawdown should be 1% of your account, right? So $500 for a 50K account. So then you'd want your max loss per trade to be 50K divided by, or 500 divided by three. You're looking at like 165 ish, right? Max loss per trade. Yeah, I mean, certainly looks like they're running out of a bit of juice. Kind of an equal move lower, equal move higher type day, right? It pretty much actually spot on to that, I think, by the looks of it. I mean, I'm not going to place any further trades at all. I'm done. I've had a great week. I'm not going to do anything stupid here. But yeah, 52 points lower versus 40. Versus 48 points. So yeah, equal move lower, equal move higher. Yeah, I think so too, Mark. It's been, at least for me, it has been a what has felt like a stressful trading day. Yeah, and generally, Doug, if you're gonna be trading on the 50Ks, I would recommend trading micros, not minis, which I think you're already doing. But yeah, Texas Trader, just to go back to your question there just briefly, right? I said I was gambling, right? I'm thinking that price action is going to give me a better exit price than the signal close. The probably the gamble in that context is that it's going to retest 23,000, right? That's probably the leap. The probability of it actually making a higher high over 992 post close, like that's like a 99% chance, right? That it's going to give me an entry above that. Picking the 23,000 number, right? Okay, that's probably a 70% maybe, right? Something like that. So there'll be for sure times where, yeah, it's just like a rocket ship down. And we've seen that in the past, right? Especially when we get like we've had trades where we're in them, we're in great shape, and then Trump put something on Truth Social, and all of a sudden markets tank 60 points in 5 seconds, right? So those for sure happen, and those are kind of like the outlier variants of it. But for yeah, 95% of trades probably, right? I always am able to get an exit as my P&L is increasing. Now, increasing is not relative to what it was at the peak of my trade. Increasing is relative to what the close was of my exit candle, right? Or of my exit signal candle. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. The leverage that you get, Mike. So, um, yeah, micros are a less leveraged product. They move less per point. Or they're worth less per point, I should say. So, any questions here this morning, team? Any questions? Strong day. Like I don't really have anything else to complain about. And solid. Cool. Yeah, any further questions here, team? Any further questions? So final call for questions here, team. Final call for questions. Today's July 11th. Oh, absolutely. And didn't the new college football game release, Rusty? Have you played it? Is it any good? Sounds good, Richard. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, absolutely, Rusty. Yeah, I hear that. Hard to justify the time, right? Yeah. I know she's gonna wake you up right middle of the night and be like, "Oh, let me just go play a season." The next thing you know, it's morning. Uh, uh, Okay. What do you mean by that? Where is trade details located? In mine, yours, what? I was just filling in my journal, so I wasn't really talking there. No. And Leon, what do you mean? But I don't really understand your question. Guys, the link to the journal is inside the Discord, inside the Trading Docs tab. I will not post it in the YouTube. It will not allow me to post any links. The link is in the Discord in the Trading Docs tab. It is literally the most recent document posted there. Please go look at that. Yeah, like everything you need is there, guys. I don't use anything here on a daily basis that you don't already have complete and total access to inside the Discord, right? So just use those resources, go through them, look through them, because I don't have any secrets here, right? I'm not using anything or using any tools that I haven't made available to you all. We all have exactly the same access to the exact same things. All right. Any other questions here, team? Yeah, it's fine, Doug, right? But like I talk about this every single day, right? So there's just only so many times I can repeat myself. I do my journal live on the stream every single day, right? So I don't know where the surprise comes from. Anyway, guys, I'm done. I'm going to go enjoy my weekend. Have yourselves a great one. We'll see you all on Monday. And yeah, we'll keep up, hopefully, this good momentum here. And we'll keep absolutely flying and cruising. So have yourselves a great day, team. And I'll see you then.